everybody. I want to welcome you guys in. This is the new show. It's called One on One, where we sit down with some of the local talent, local coaches, administrators, anybody involved in sports, and we want to have one-on-one conversations so you guys get to know them a little better. So normally, I know you guys usually see me with the podcast with Larry, Johnny, and Khalid. I will be back doing that, but for this, we want to make sure we have the focus directly on our guests. So today, our special guest, man, is none other than the new coach of Woodrow Wilson High School, Mr. Brandon Bathers. Brandon, what's up?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I can't complain.
I'm glad you're here, man. I know before we talked, you said, yo, man, you ain't never had me on a podcast. But I wanted to make sure it was the right set and we could get you there and get you in and talk to you about what's going on. So
yeah, man. Podcast is great too, man. Shout out to you guys doing that podcast. I very enjoy it that much. So.
Appreciate it, man. A lot of coaches, you know, and we're not going to get into it, but you know, some take it a little too serious. But I don't know. But
everybody has an opinion.
Right.
So you can say what you want as long as as long as it's credible, it's backed up. You know, you've been paying attention, you've been watching. I know you guys pay attention to the game, so it's like that's your perspective.
Right. So
it's your platform. Do what you want.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I wanted to get into it, but I didn't want to go directly into your new position. We'll get there. Like I said, you're the new coach of Woodrow Wilson High School. I just want to take people back who may not know who Brandon Bathers is, right? Yeah. So, who is Brandon Bathers? Where are you from? You know, just give me a little bit of that.
Brandon Bathers is, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Born and raised in Nashville. I did my high school ball there, played high school football, basketball, track, baseball, played all sports in high school. Then I got a scholarship, academic scholarship to play at Tennessee State, Tennessee State University for academic scholarship. Played football there, coached there, pledged Omega Psi Phi fraternity, you know, shout out to the bruh. But did that. Went through a lot back home, you know, playing football.
Yeah.
Just being around the guys and learning the game and becoming a student, realizing that I wanted to coach, so I started coaching.
So that experience, I was going to ask you one of those questions too, like how did you get into coaching? But so that experience that you went through high school and into college, you said you came in on an academic scholarship.
Yeah.
So explain that a little more, because
everybody wants a full ride with, you know, athletic scholarship,
right.
You know, Big Ten, Power 5, all that good stuff. I played high school my sophomore year. We only won 3 games.
Oh, wow.
My junior year, we won 1 game. And then my senior year, you know, I took them to the playoffs. I was captain of that team. We made sure we turned the program around. And after that, the next 3 years after that, they, you know, went to semifinals. My brother and them, they had a lot of top guys. I think 4 kids from my high school that played when I was a senior, it was already on the team. 4 of them ended up in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
So
you were
I was kinda like
the start of it.
Yeah, they know it back home. You know, people know, like, hey, we started that program and we kept it going for the little run that we had. I actually got to coach this past summer. I had moved back. I had left New Jersey.
Really?
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew that, yeah.
It was during the pandemic. I wasn't working. Everything was shut down, and a position that opened up back home.
Right.
I went in. I was there for like a month.
Yeah.
But going to college on an athletic scholarship, I wasn't really recruited. I had to go to camps.
Right.
I was going to camps.
You said you had to go to camps. These kids nowadays don't.
Oh yeah.
They want the O's. They don't want to put the work in.
I didn't even get. They go to a lot of camps. I mean, some kids now it's way more camps now, and getting it. Like I didn't know where the camps were. We had to call and reach out. Now you could type it in and find it, and you can get there. So I only got to go to probably 4 camps, college camps, and then I went to like a little combine camp, the combine series camp. I did that, but I wasn't really recruited. I was, you know, the best player on my team, but one of the best players on my team, and I just had the grades. My parents were like, "Look, man, you'll be able to go wherever you want.
Right.
Keep the grades." So I made sure I did the grades. I played, like I said, I played every sport. But going into that last year of my senior year,
that was it.
They were everybody. I was gonna sign at D3 school, Cumberland.
Okay.
The current head coach at Tennessee Tech now, he was recruiting me. Coach Alexander. He's got actually one of the Camden kids now, Curtis Huff.
Yep.
Kurt plays at Tennessee Tech. His head coach recruited me. I know him pretty well. And my cousin actually coaches there now too. But he was offering me a scholarship to D3 school, Cumberland. NAIA, my bad, NAIA school. Called me, he's like, man, you can sign today, we get you. And my mom was like, you're not signing no NAIA. Like, just wait. If worst case, now you go to TSU and walk on and play.
Right.
And it wasn't really I was like, everybody signed but me. Like, so all my AAU friends, everybody had scholarships, and I was the only one that didn't have one. And, it was kind of upsetting at first. But as time went on, I ended up talking to Tennessee State staff, and they ended up seeing my tape, and they said, if you can run and do this, you can play here.
Right.
You just got to, you got to get a little faster.
So during that time period that you were transitioning from high school to college, you talking to the coaches, you said all of your friends were getting signed or recruited or committing. Was that time like difficult for you? Were you like, what was your mindset in that at that point?
The first, the thing that kind of threw me off was I didn't understand why like I wasn't getting any calls back. So nobody was hitting me back about my tape because I was better than like a lot of guys.
Right.
That I felt, And once I ended up going to the school and talking to the staff, and they said, look, man, you need to run track this year, get your speed up. Cause I played baseball my whole life. I only ran track for 1 year in high school. Okay. And that was that senior year. So I went to the baseball coach, said, look, man, for me to play football, they said I need to run track. And he was like, all right, do what you gotta do. Okay. So I ran track that year. I ended up winning one race. I won one race. It was the last race to qualify to get to the state meet. And I qualified, won the 200. That was the first race I won. I got beat all year. They beat me all year. I just kept getting faster. I never ran track. So I never learned anything. Ended up winning that race. That's the only gold medal I got. That ended up getting me, they say, hey, you can come walk on.
A chance, an opportunity.
Got in school, got the scholarship. I was in camp that first week.
Dope. So, I talked to you off camera, but you were a communications major. Yep. So, I'll ask you this. A lot of people, it's a lot of talk now, especially with the historically black colleges. Right. It's a lot going on. TSU is starting to grow, right? So you're talking about Eddie George as a new head coach. You're talking about the offensive coordinator, Hugh Jackson. Then you talk about basketball-wise, you guys had Robert Covington, I believe. He's starting to build a new facility there. You got Master P's son. So the state of HBCU, or your school in particular, we don't have to go into all of that, but your school in particular, how does that make you feel? Oh man, when you see that?
Tennessee, you don't know, but I was born in Tennessee. My parents went to Tennessee State. My grandfather, he's in the Agricultural Hall of Fame in Tennessee State. It's probably like 30 of us with degrees.
Now let me say this.
Tennessee State.
See, you probably feel the way that I feel, and I'm sorry I cut you off, but I wanted to get to it. You probably feel the way that I feel about your college back home in Tennessee. I was born in Mississippi, not born in Mississippi, but raised in Mississippi, right. And ours was Jackson State. Yep. I got family that graduated from Jackson State. My brother in the band at Jackson State. Yep. So I know where you're about to go. So being the South, we're going to get to the South and some other questions, but go ahead and finish. I'm feeling it right now.
Yeah, Tennessee State to me, man, it was, just being a kid, you kind of want to leave town to go to school and do that. And my grandfather always wanted me to go. He said, why you just don't go play? Why you don't want to play at TSU? Why you don't want to play at TSU? And we would be at the games every year. I've been to all the homecomings, my mom was in the band. Like, I did all of that. Right. And look, kids, HBCU, best thing ever happened to me. But I didn't, I rejected it. I was like, man, I'm gonna just go somewhere else. But like I said, I wasn't getting recruited. I didn't have nowhere else to go. Called, the connections we had there. They said, you come. Best decision I ever made. Tennessee State, my freshman year, if there was one day you could go back, and I would clap my hands and I would just start over from freshman year.
Just do it over.
Just for, I learned a lot. Black college, man.
That was my next question. HBCU. When I say that, what does that mean to you? What is it? Feelings does it bring back?
HBCU means to me, it's a proud patch that I wear, because it means that you didn't have to find success somebody else's way. Like somebody got to teach me that they look like me and could empathize and show me the stuff I need to know. Going through the world that we live in. And being an HBCU grad, like it's an instant connection. When people say, "Oh, you went to Tennessee State?" "Oh, I went to Tuskegee." "Oh, I went to Spelman." It's an instant like we relate, because HBCU life is different.
You know the struggle, especially going back in the 90s, 2000s. I went to Kahoma down in Clarksdale, Mississippi, so struggle was real.
Yeah.
But so you go HBCU, you graduate.
And like it's growing, like you said, it's like you said, Master P's coming around. My guy Rocco, me and Rob went to school together.
Yeah. Like
his over there, I stayed over here. Like that's my guy, and him, going to the NBA, having a successful career. Now, the like you said, Eddie George, they got the little Titan staff over there. Hugh Jackson, like, why not?
Why not?
It's Nashville.
Yeah. So we had a question that we were talking about amongst our friends was, with the HBCUs. So.
Oh yeah, what they were saying.
I mean, some of my friends are already they love the big colleges, they love the facilities, they love the atmosphere that it brings. But my thing was, when you start getting guys like Eddie George, Hugh Jackson, Deion Sanders, all these different guys that played in the league, coached in the league, at that point you got to weigh it out. So if you had an opportunity as a running back to be coached by Eddie George, why wouldn't you? Or a D-line or any position like that. So, I mean, it's going to change.
I think it's definitely on the upside. I think HBCUs need a lot more money. And the problem with that is they don't get the revenue from the games that they should. They're not, like you said, streaming and all that type of stuff. You got to really market. If you want to make money, you got to put it out there. People got to be able to see it. Like the ESPN, everybody signed with ESPN already. All those Black college games are gonna be on there, but I don't know the revenue split. I don't know what the school's getting. I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if the only way, some programs like Nashville, Tennessee State, we're gonna be able to grow because we got a good location.
Right.
We right in the middle. You got 7 schools right there: Vandy, Belmont, Lipscomb, Trevecca, all those MTSU. Everything is right there within 30 minutes of each other. So we kind of feed off of that. But for the schools like Jackson State, Middle Jackson, Mississippi, it's not
much to market there though.
So it's tough. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those college towns, that Clemson is in a small town, but it's the town.
A college town, yeah.
It's that's what would have to happen for HBCUs to flourish in that athletic arena, because they're gonna try to make it grow, and people gonna try to get there, but it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
How you tell a kid not to go to LSU over Tennessee State?
Right.
What do you tell them?
I mean, it's
I agree,
tough. But that's what I kind of feel like with the HBCUs bringing in, high-profile coaches now. That is the,
and that could work.
We can't get you the waterfall in the locker room, but we could give you Eddie George.
This the thing. See, the athletes at the HBCU level are still high caliber.
Oh yeah.
And the way they try to make it seem like, he's only playing against this talent. Well, if he's imagine how he's gonna play with guys that's on his level. He's gonna be that much better.
You're right. It's gonna make it a lot easier because all the focus won't be on him.
And he ain't got to make every play. You see what I'm saying? That when I hear people say that, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if a guy's great at this level, imagine how he's gonna be with other great players. That's why they go to the league and be successful.
Right.
My best friend Anthony Levine, he been with the Ravens 12 years. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, we all played at Tennessee State. Dominique did 11 years in the league.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they always say that. Well, Deion say I hear.
Yeah.
I mean, out there is really not a big difference, but with the linemen and quarterback play, it's probably the biggest.
Especially the special
difference.
teams too.
Yeah.
They got a lot more guys on special teams
that are dogs.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't have to really play your starters on special teams at that level.
So we're gonna start transitioning into your time at Woodrow Wilson. You know, when Preston got the job, he turned to you as the defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So what was your time like, the early part of coming in at Wilson, changing it over?
It wasn't like me not being, like I said, I'm from Nashville. I had been in Camden 1 year prior to going to Wilson, so I was in Camden for a year at the time, going into my second year in Camden. And going at Wilson, I just heard so much. Just heard so much negativity, man. People was calling me, asked, why would you go over there? Those kids, this, that. I'm like, no way.
Right.
They kids. Like, listen, I had a call. Guy called me, he said, listen, man, it's different over there. You're not gonna like it. I was like, listen, man, I'm going. It's cool. It is what it is. That's where. If everybody telling you not to go,
sometimes that's where you need it the most.
And just being there early, a lot of the guys they just wanted to be coached. They just wanted to make sure that their opinions were met, but they also wanted to be structured, regimented. Man, them guys worked out. We used to we got them on a strict schedule early. We tried to break their minds down, build them up, and then we saw a little success. We haven't, since I've been there, we haven't had a losing season. Last year we were 3-3, but that first year we were there, we went to the playoffs, played Canada High in the first round. I don't know if you remember that.
Right.
Lost that game. Tank got hurt second play of the game. We were winning it to start the third, or midway through the third we was winning, then it went downhill. But
yeah.
That first year, once we knew that we can get to the playoffs that first year, we had a shot.
So, I mean, throughout that process, you've had guys that have transitioned from Wilson to college.
Yeah.
Even guys that you coached early on.
Yeah.
So, getting those guys to buy in, was it a difficult feat? Being from the South, coming, because you don't talk the slang of Northern. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So just dealing with the kids, how I am. I know you've seen me. I'm pretty straightforward. I don't disrespect any kids. I try not to belittle anybody. But I need to get it out you. Like, listen, man, I know this. I gotta help you do this. I gotta help you do this. But if you do it this way, it's not gonna work. So a lot of kids, they just once they seen I was about business, and the stuff I was doing was working, things changed. You know what I'm saying? My first year at Wilson, I think Tank, but you know Tank.
Yep.
Tank was number one corner in the state.
Yeah.
After that first season, Rutgers big, coaching the guys early. I mean, like I said, I was at Canada High first, so I kind of got to fill in.
Fill it a little bit.
Yeah, those guys over there, they took me, they showed me around who this, But once I got to Wilson, those guys, they didn't really have nobody. It was just, like, when we first got there, it was me and Preston every day, track season. Track every day, just getting the guys, trying to get them faster. But I feel like they kind of welcomed me in. It wasn't like hey, you ain't from around here, you can't talk to me like that. It was never that. It was more so, hey, coach, you from the South, appreciate you. All the kids always try to talk about my slang or whatever. Yeah, but I like it. Yeah. I've been in Wilson 8 years now, going on 8.
So you guys transitioned from first round playoffs, being knocked out of the playoffs. Then you guys come back and you go on a roll. You make it to the state final against Delsey, lose on a heartbreaker. Then you bounce right back, come back the next year.
Yep. Did you
feel like it was coming when it came?
Definitely. I could definitely. The players, they started. We had guys been in the program 3 years. Trayvon, Hyro, those guys, they had been in there, and their skill level had increased, and everything was falling into place. Guys were learning offense and learning the defense and flying around, and we, as coaches, we were getting better,
right?
Scheming things up, figuring out what worked, what didn't work, and that 3-year run where we went to 3 championships in a row, lost 1, won 2.
1, 2.
We could definitely see it. You can see. You can see it once you
Still
see the
building
guys. You see, man, shoot. Fidel was 6'5", 6'6", running 4.5.
Right.
Every day at practice. And then you might not have seen that every day, but I'm like, man, he's gonna give me at least 5 plays that I don't account for. He's gonna make 5. I don't have to worry about.
Right.
As a coach, when you got guys that can, so if Fidel's giving you 5, then Trayvon's giving you 5. Then you got a middle line. Muheem is giving you 6 of his own plays that you don't have to worry about. Then you got a corner that hasn't given. Stanley had 8 interceptions as a senior.
That was one of the craziest things. I was like looking at Stanley, like, man, they got Stanley at corner.
But every time they throw it, he just gonna catch it.
He was just going up top, picking it off, man. That was one of the craziest things. But that was one of the smartest things that you guys did as well, is to see that he could transition into a defensive back.
Yeah, I've always, I train all my guys. I train my guys, and you gotta be able to play every spot. Stanley's, 6'6" long guy. Listen, Stanley, all you do is backpedal, turn. When he throw the ball, go catch it. He was worried about tackling him, but those guys are tackling him before you get there.
Right.
So,
especially in a run game, most DBs, you get to set the edge, force them inside, let the linebackers clean up the dirty work. Every now and then, you got to come up and hit somebody, but
you gotta know where guys can fit. Like, you got to recognize who's good at what and try to put them in the best spot. Because, shoot, we had like 4 corners that year. The year we lost at MetLife,
right.
We had like 4 corners that could have started. We could only start 2. So the other 2, I don't know, Naeem, remember Naeem?
Naeem Simmons.
Naeem played both ways, but he could have started at corner that year. Marquay started at corner, remember Marquay?
Yes. Yeah.
Marquay he went on a run that year.
So how do you balance that talent when you're in that situation?
It's tough. You gotta make sure guys are, they feel like they involved, and everybody kind of has to take one for the team. Because listen, man, if you start on offense, well, I'm starting on defense, and when I need a break, you can give me. But as a coach, you gotta
sell it to them.
But you gotta figure out when you want your best guys on the field. Okay. Like, when can you afford to have a lesser corner? Like, if you have a guy that's better at this spot, but this guy's like right there, I can play with him. But in crucial time, he need to be in. You see what I'm saying?
Got you.
Like, you gotta. That's difficult to manage sometimes, because you gotta know who you want at critical conditions.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to get into it, the transition from Preston being the head coach, coming into the season. You guys may have known something was probably going to happen earlier than everybody else did. But that transition from Preston to you as head coach, like, how was that transition as far as with the school district ADs and things like that? Were they supportive?
It hasn't really started yet. Football, we haven't really done too much. We start next week. August 9th is the first day we can start.
Gotcha.
So it's like, it's all brand new. Just getting, the phone calls and talking to the AD every day and just making sure things are in order. That's the only different part for me.
Right.
I've always, like I said, I've been around the program, so I know how everything's supposed to go, where everybody's supposed to be at. But other than that, that's really the only transition. The school, I know most of the staff already. I've been in the system. Like I said, I've coached all 3 sports: basketball, football, track. So I know everybody already. It's just the title,
right,
and responsibilities.
Yeah, going from D coordinator, where you could kind of play the background, in most districts, the offense, well, I'll say in the city of Camden, the OC is on the chopping block, right, all day, every day. So, flying a little bit under the radar, but now you're in the spotlight. Coaching wise, you sealed up with OCs, D coordinators, or all that stuff, or you still in the process of it?
Staff wise, we trying to get some guys to go through the process and get approved.
Get cleared.
Waiting on the board to clear everything. So we really haven't changed the staff yet. Everybody that was on last year said that they'll be back out to help. But you always want to have a good staff.
Right.
You always want to try to get the best people and best knowledge and coaches around the guys, because that's only going to help the program. So I'm definitely always, you want to recruit guys. You don't want to take what they give. You want to find talent and recruit it and get it to be around you. Because if you can surround yourself with successful people, now you succeed. But if you're not surrounded with the top thinkers, then how you gonna innovate? How you gonna be creative?
I'm glad that you said that, because in life and business and everything that you do, you can't just shut off everybody. So it's good that you are open to bringing guys in that can help you grow,
right,
as a coach as well. So, I mean, those are good things. That's music to my ear.
Yeah, you'll see. I mean, if everything goes well, and everybody gets cleared and all this, and we can make things happen, I think we should have a pretty decent staff.
All right, so we getting down to it. So your goals as a coach. What's your goals coming in short term, and then your goals long term?
Short term, I really want to get that GPA, that overall high school team. I want all us to be 3.0 students. I want all those guys to be efficient in the classroom, making sure that they're handling that stuff, because that's me. Like it's no different than Preston and how we talk about the grades. Like I got 2 degrees, and I want my kids to be a reflection of me. I want them to see the stuff that I was successful in and feel like they can do it too. You see what I'm saying? So me, having an academic scholarship and doing all that type of stuff, I want them to have that same opportunity, first off. Second off, I want to be a real solid and fast football team. I really want to dominate the speed and the intensity of the game. I want guys to play the game hard at all times. I don't want any slip-ups. I want to be real mentally enthused into the game. Like those guys, they're talking football. Like when you come to a practice and you hear them, like it sounds like a college practice. It sounds like you see what I'm saying?
Football players. I
don't want it to be, not that it's been that, but I don't want it to be like, I don't want people to think that we just got athletes.
Yeah.
That's what people say. They say, those coaches.
It's easy.
It's easy. Brandon doing this, Preston doing this. They couldn't do that. I want people to know that we are a real solid, well-coached football team.
There are difficulties of coaching a lot of talent, and it's.
Yeah, definitely. It ain't even. It's about the what they say. It's about the Jimmy Joes, not the X's and the O's.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you got the best guys, the best teams have the best players.
Right.
Never forget that. The best teams have the best players. But also, we got some pretty smart guys, man. They know the game, they study it, they learn it, and they use it to their advantage to make them better players.
Yeah, last year, one thing I noticed when we came to cover some of the games was you guys were young, especially on the back end.
Definitely, yeah.
You guys were young. I see some of those young guys are starting to get looks from colleges. Some are starting to get offers. They're starting to grow. I mean, I'm talking about guys that are 6 foot, 6'1". They were that big as freshmen, so They're starting to mature a little bit.
Yeah.
You're back into your defense. You expect that to be one of your better positions this year?
The back end can only be as good as the front end, man. You know what I'm saying? Best pass defense is a pass rush. So if my big guys is holding it down like they should be, then the back end will be successful. But if we can't get a pass rush, then we're not gonna be able to stop. I don't care how many stars and offers you got. That's just the game of football, man. It starts up front, always starts up front. So that back end, we got a lot of talented guys back there, a lot of up and coming guys that should be able to make some plays. But can't nobody, if you got 7 seconds to throw a ball, not saying I'm trying to give them 7 seconds or nothing like that, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to cover. So those guys, they gonna those offers and stuff. I like when the kids get them, but when you get them so young, it kind of makes you think you're better than what you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta use that early offer as motivation, not gratification.
To settle.
You see what I'm saying? You don't want it to just be, I got an offer now. Well, I could just no. Now you got an offer. Now you got to play like a Ole Miss offer.
Right.
You got an SEC offer?
See, SEC, Ole Miss.
You got an SEC offer? Oh, you better be making 9 to 12 tackles a game, an interception, punt, that's what you put on your back as soon as you retweeted it.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's good pressure for them. I like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna make some plays. definitely.
Yeah, man. So I'm not going to hold you much longer. Again, I want to thank you for coming in. I wanted to make sure that you were one of my the first guests, not only because of your new position, but just because of the history that I've seen, from you throughout the football community over the last, I'm going to go back, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
From me, from training my son, and he holds a solid spot for you as well, and just seeing how you're moving out here. You speak a few words. You're not all out there on social media all over the place. You kind of like say what you mean and stick to it. So I always respect guys like that. So I just wanted to make sure that you definitely got in as one of the first guys.
I appreciate that. Definitely, you guys, welcomed me into the South Jersey community. When I first got here, like nobody, I was a ref, man. I didn't really know too many people. I refereed, everybody knows I ref. And then when I got in Camden, when I got involved with the city of Camden, my life changed, and I started meeting people and getting around and being part of the football community. And I appreciate everybody, man, that supports me and supports our program, man. We just trying to make it happen and give back to the kids, man. I enjoy it, the respect. I like the camaraderie. I just like I ain't got that back home because I don't coach football back home. So this is my football home, South Jersey football.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a tough question before we get out here. So I got 2 questions. All right, so this is the first one. Top 5 players that you've coached since you've been in New Jersey. They can be that you coach Wilson, Camden High.
It can't be top 5.
You got to give me a top 5. We can't. I need a top 5. I know.
Are we saying best to coach or best players, best talented?
You could. It could be a mixture, or you can a guy that you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a stud. It could be somebody that you really enjoy coaching.
Okay. I mean, the best player and one of the best overall guys that I enjoyed coaching was it's like you go Brad Hawkins, just being around, getting to see Brad Young and getting to see him coach, and then getting to see him play. I only got to coach him 1 year at Kenai, but what I watched him do over there, it was crazy. I had never seen it at the high school level. So, but then moving forward, Muhim was good. Muhim was a good football player.
That was your Swiss Army knife on both sides of the ball too.
Muhim was a good football player. Me and him, we used to beef or battle because he was such he a football guy and I'm a football guy. So he think he right, I think I like, but it made him better. And then Fidel was a great kid to watch play. He made some big plays, and just watched him growing from a freshman to a senior.
Right.
And then I really enjoyed coaching that first group of Wilson guys, that Trayvon, Hyro, Ramos.
Yep.
All of those guys, man. They built the program.
Right.
Nick, that first championship team that we lost the championship with, those guys, they really set the tone. Shaq, Antonio, all those guys, man. Really good. Like, I had some good teams. It's crazy. All the kids, like I was refereeing this weekend at the park and just watching all the kids, like Marley, all those guys, the 707 kids, that whole 707 program. Watching those kids coach, man, it's really special because those guys, they successful. They on TV now. They balling.
Yeah.
So
definitely got to warm.
I ain't give you a top 5, but
no, that was the top 5. I give you the last one as a group. So this is the last one, and we'll let you go. You can decline. I need a prediction.
Prediction for what?
Season prediction.
Season prediction. I predict that we'll be a team that fights to the end, bro. We're not gonna quit, and I can't give you no prediction, no record, or nothing like that because we got a tough schedule.
I posted your schedule in one of the groups. I mean, you guys got West Defford,
first.
They're perennial state champions all the time.
Last year, 300 yards rushing.
You got Shawnee?
No
Shawnee this year, but you got somebody else.
Winslow second.
Winslow.
They were champions last year, supposedly, right? Then they get
Yeah.
They were the 2020 champions, right? So we got them.
Between Winslow,
They beat us last year.
Oh,
We got Haddonfield.
Haddonfield, their championship caliber team.
Got Cedar Creek.
Cedar Creek, they won the state championship at Group 2 a
Got Holy
couple
Spirit.
times. Holy Spirit was the overall favorite last year. They won it all.
Pleasantville.
Pleasantville, they young and upcoming, but they like y'all though. They young, they fight, they
Listen,
feisty.
We got a tough schedule. Everybody was talking all this stuff to me. Oh, y'all gonna do this? I'm like, man, have you not seen our schedule?
Yeah, that schedule is tough. Everybody in there is fairly tough.
We got some work to do.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it, man. Those guys are looking forward to it. Working. This is gonna be. Now you get to really see.
Yeah,
You really about that?
yeah.
We're gonna find out.
You a dog or you not? All right, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Brandon, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you, come in today. Again, much success. Hopefully we see you guys out there on the field, get to cover some games, and get you guys back in here.
Let me know.
Your date. So
Let me know.
Appreciate
Y'all support Woodrow Wilson football, man. Anything y'all want to donate, hey, I'm looking for whatever, man. We need all the help we can get.
all right, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of One on One. I am Rick, and I'm out of here. Peace.